Hello everybody and welcome back to Keep It Real, episode 60. Doesn't that look wonderful? Look at that. Bit of a different start. We're cracking straight on today. In fact, let's jump it right up to times 10. Now that I've started the recording, there we go. This is looking good, isn't it? Look, we are now in July. We've paid our bills, which were expensive as always. So we've got 3,556 euros currently, but yeah, we will be harvesting. Not in this episode though. Now I've been busy off screen. I don't do stuff off screen really, not in this series. However, what I have been doing is the kind of stuff that you've seen far too much of in my eyes. Now you'll notice as we approach, let's go in this view for a bit more immersion. As we approach, this area looks a little bit different. Hopefully you can notice anyway. I definitely notice. So here we are, and you will see it is, well, more open, I guess is a good way to describe it. I've removed all the trees. Now, the majority, not all of them, because I wanted to leave a little bit in the episode so you can see that I'm doing it properly, of course, but the majority has gone. So it's all out the sawmill, a bit like I did, I don't know, probably 10 episodes ago really, where I just piled it all up at the sawmill. We'll sell it all in one big lump, just so you can see how much money we're on. But yeah, definitely. And I'll tell you what I didn't realise is how wide this area is without the trees. So in hindsight, again, that's a wonderful thing. I always say it. I probably could have put these way back. Way back. But I got a bit of a plan anyway. We're gonna change this up a little bit. Look how big this area is. I can't believe I've just wasted it all along. So we're gonna make this field here, which is currently potatoes, is not gonna stay as potatoes, but we're gonna make this bigger, much bigger. And I guess whilst I'm busy doing the work, I'll kind of explain it a little bit as well. Now I better move that unimog a little bit closer, or a little bit further away from the potatoes, I should say, because yeah, I don't really want to be damaging them. Probably going to run over that one there. No, they've still not got crop destruction, I can't even talk, at this point, so we didn't run them over anyway. So, ideal. Now, as you'll see, I've got the log trailer on the back there ready to go. So we're going to just carry on doing these things. While I explain to you, I've had a bit of a change up. Now, what I'll do is I'll just cut the one. I should have kept one of them here really as my measuring tool, but we'll measure that one up against the trailer. Hopefully that's about the right size, and if it is, we'll use that as a little bit of a guide, roughly. Yeah, so bit of a change up. What am I thinking? Wow, I didn't realise I've used the mod before actually, but I didn't realise I'd already had it activated. And it's only when kind of exploring. Oh dear. Come on, I've just done about 2 hours of this off screen. How come as soon as I press record I'm struggling with it? What is going on here? Yeah, I have actually got activated the I think it's called the old windmills pack, maybe. It's a very small windmill. Probably suits the series quite well, I like to think. Wow, I went a bit overkill on that, didn't I? I certainly did. Okay, right, so we don't want it that long at all. Let's load it up and just see, but the rest of them I need to go a little bit smaller. You'd think the amount of time I've just spent doing this off camera, I would kind of be used to it really, wouldn't you? But there you go. You will also notice as well I've brought the weights down. I've been talking about it for a fair few episodes really. I've actually done it now. Well, that nearly ended badly. So yeah, this area here, I want to place an old windmill. It's 20,000. I'll show you what it looks like in a minute. But what that will do is convert all of the grain, which we are about to harvest. Again, not in this episode, but we will be harvesting it soon. It'll convert all of that into flour, which just gives us that little bit more money. Not a huge amount more, but a little bit more. Alright, let me just do this a minute. Let's see how this one measures up. So yeah, but it also can press the olives and make some olive oil. which I like the sound of. I know olive oil goes for a decent amount of money. Oh my god, I actually cut this one even longer, didn't I? It's not much better. Wow. Yeah, olives. Crush them into olive oil. And actually what that does is eliminate that kind of realistic fear of selling the olives soon enough to be kind of realistic, obviously with the game in mind. But yeah, if they were produced into olive oil, they're kind of sealed jars, aren't they? So yeah, I wouldn't need to rush it with selling them so much, which means I can kind of save them until they're worth the most amount of money. And hopefully kind of help towards that end game. Yeah, that kind of £500,000 that we're going to need to buy the farm. I mean, if we're lucky as we get there, by the way, it might be a little bit cheaper, and that would be quite helpful. Anyway, right, now I'm talking in and out while I'm doing this, but let's show you a minute. I'll just get my mouse working, and yeah, let's go into construction. So here's kind of what I'm thinking, just to give you a bit of a sneak peek, and maybe it'll be done in this episode actually, I don't know. Quite possibly, depends what we're going to earn in a minute from this wood. Now, can I slow the time down? No. Let me just slow the time down a minute, because I might be talking for a while. You know what I'm like with landscaping. Now, why is it not letting me move? Come on. There we go. In productions, in factories, again, I'd already activated this initially when I started the server. I just forgot that I did it. But yeah, you have here the old grain mills mod. This particular one here, which is the one that I've used before, really good mod. But I've never used this version of it. It looks pretty much the same. But I like it. Suits the series. Now, the reason I kind of got rid of the trees is for two reasons. It will give us the funds to actually do this and place this. But also, realistically, those trees were stopping the wind. A windmill is not going to be fully efficient if it's not getting any wind. So, yeah, I've kind of gone with that for two reasons. Now, what I'm thinking is I'm going to place it here somewhere. I don't know where. Maybe I could place it there, or I might place it up here. Not sure. We'll have to turn the interactive zone markers on when we do it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this kind of a ring road around the olive tree. We'll get to the windmill, which will be in one of these positions, and then back here. So the actual kind of area to drive around is here, which means I can plough right up to the edge of here, all the way right down there, and kind of around there. It'll be in that sort of shape. It'll still be a funny shaped field, but it'll be a good field. And it's perfect to plant canola, really, because again, these windmills, as you see here, do actually make, if you can see it, I believe they do. It's not showing it. It's that one there, I think, is canola oil, or rapeseed oil, I guess. Normal cooking oil. So, yeah, plant canola here. And probably plant canola in every field after this harvest, and just have one really good session at making some canola oil and making some real good money. So, let's jump back out of this. So again, let's get back to doing this. So I've left this purposely, just so that you can see how I've kind of been doing the login and how I've transported up. Now, I couldn't even off screen, even if I wanted to be cheeky, which would have saved me so much time, I'll tell you. You can't use the EasyDev tool to transport the vehicle with the trailer to the sawmill. That would have been amazing, wouldn't it? A bit of a cheat. But that would have saved a little bit of time. But you can't do it because when you do it, it transports the vehicle and it transports the trailer. It doesn't transport anything that's actually in the trailer. So yeah, if I was to do that, it would actually leave the wood behind. Now, can I pick this up? Yes, I can. Good. Right, I've just chucked that loose bit in there. So I think we've got 2 more trees to get rid of. So we'll just load those up, and we've probably got a load of scraggly bits down there as well, actually, thinking about it, which have been there a while, in fact, probably from the first time we actually did some logging down here. Yeah, they're still there, look, kind of in my way currently. Right, let's see if I can guesstimate this size a little bit better. Let's go for about there. How does that look? Let's try and pick it up again without damaging the potatoes. I mean, it didn't do any crop destruction a minute ago when I drove the Unimog over a little bit, but I don't want to risk it. Do not want to risk it. And having these weights down here, by the way, makes so much difference. I don't know why I've continued to talk about it for many episodes and not actually done it, but there you go. Unimog was very handy for that as well, actually. Being able to bring these weights down saved so much time. Now, I don't know, I might, you get the gist of it, yeah? I might load the rest of these up. There's another log just over there lying behind the grape vineyard, sorry. So I'll chop that up, I'll load that up as well, and then I'll make my way to the sawmill. And I guess we'll just jump back in when we're pretty much there, because you will see just how many trees I've chopped down. You can probably already imagine how many trees I've chopped down, because there were still quite a few here. This alone is not the easiest task in the world, by the way. Even though the Unimog is much, much better at kind of travelling with a slightly heavier trailer. As you can probably see by my kind of fishtailing, it's still quite tricky and it's not fast. I don't know how many times I've just done this. 5 times, 6 times maybe. Oh dear, it's been a nightmare. That's why I've done it off camera. But you will see now why it has been worth it. And it's definitely been worth it. I'm just hoping, really hoping, oh gosh, I can't even get it, oh come on. There we go. I'm just hoping it's going to get as much money as what I'm hoping for. Now, we are eagerly checking the shop. I haven't done it this episode, but we will check it to see if there's any harvesters. Actually, I don't know now if I even make it to the sell point. I don't know now if we are better off just sticking with leasing a harvester and spending the money on that kind of old mill. The old windmill. It might be better, maybe, because we can just put the olive straight in there. My theory is if I place it close enough as well, I can just set the olive tree to distributing, if that would work. And yeah, might save a little bit of the manhandling, literally the manhandling, save the man a little bit of work. Now, look at how much wood is here. Now, obviously, I've kind of thrown it off onto the floor, off screen again, just for kind of, well, so you can see how much we raise, I guess, rather than me sell it and reload an episode with a random amount of money. I do like to explain how we've earned money. Now, I have no idea if this trailer is actually in the sale point, because this wood is kind of fallen out so far now. But we're going to do it anyway. Now, I'll just pause. I will just check that it is definitely on. There we go. Economic difficulty is still on normal. So yeah, I just want to make sure that we're not earning too much money, I guess. Now, it is 11:40 already, game time, so we need to hurry up with this. So let's just see how much we're going to get. If I can find the there we go. Whoa. Yeah, I didn't expect that much, actually. Wow. 31,585, and it didn't even sell after it. Right, let's see. Oh, this is going to be awful, isn't it? This is going to be really unbalanced now. Let's see if I can just maneuver this into the sell point a little bit better. Yeah, I don't like to play with those markers, but I've done this so many times now, I pretty much know where the markers are off by heart. So, again, around here somewhere, what do we got? Boom, another just shy of 6. Wow, actually, with environmental score, which is positive, it's a nice change. It's over 6 grand that time around. We've got £37,676. Wow, that is, especially for this series, that is a lot. That very much is a lot, but it's not as much as what you might think. So we're going to head straight to the shop a minute, and I'm just going to consider really at the shop, what do we want to do? Do we want to just buy a harvester? If there's a reduced one, I know there was a reduced one there, but I can't remember how much it was. Is that even affordable now? I think maybe it's just about affordable, but I'm spending all of that money, and actually it just makes sense, doesn't it, to change the olives and to change all of the you know, we're going to get oat and we're going to get wheat any moment now when we do the harvesting. If I can convert that to flour, it just generates a little bit more profit margin, doesn't it? It makes sense, really. So let's just head to the shop and we'll figure out what we want to do. Here we are, just putting up now. Now, disclaimer again, this is kind of a late night for me, second night in a row now. So again, I'll do my best to not go monotone, but I think the way I start out an episode and then the way I finish an episode, I'm kind of a different person almost. That's what it feels like to me when I do the editing anyway. But yeah, let's see where we're at now. 37,000. I can't believe we got so much money. Right, let's jump into here. So first of all, let's just check the used. So, where was the harvester that was in here yesterday's episode? It wasn't... No, it wasn't that one though, was it? No, it wasn't that. Okay. Wow, I mean, that is a good deal, isn't it? That's also a 180 horsepower harvester. That is a really good deal. I've got two issues with it. Firstly, I'm pretty sure, again, you know, I always like to be a little bit different. I'm sure I've used that one in the story mode. Although I painted it yellow, I changed the colour of it. In fact, is it the one? Yeah, so in the story mode, that's the harvester that I've been using. And it is a good harvester, there's nothing wrong with it. I just like to be a bit different. Every opportunity I get, really, to try something a bit different. So that's one downfall. The second downfall is, although that's a bargain, 22,553, that is a massive chunk of that money gone. And I just think that would be a silly mistake. I really do. Is there a harvester that's even cheaper than that? Oh, there's our baler there, look. I think that's probably cheaper than what we can buy it. Yeah, nothing. Again, I don't think that class will run that kind of header, will it? I think that's probably a bit unrealistic. Okay, so we'll bear that in mind. What was it again? Oh, that's such a good price, isn't it? 22,553. But I want 20,000 for the windmill. I just think that's the right thing to do. Yeah, spend money on something that's not necessarily going to earn you money, but short-term loss, long-term gain and all of that. Now let's just have a look at harvesters and try and figure out what these will be to lease. And if I'm leasing, I could probably lease a slightly better one as well, couldn't I? I mean, like, that one isn't too bad, is it? 5,200 litre capacity. 160 horsepower. That ain't too bad. I'm not overly worried about the fuel limit. It doesn't matter too much. Or that one there, 155 horsepower, 5,600. That's pretty much on par with the class. I feel. Very, yeah. Pretty much exactly the same as the class, isn't it? So, how much are these gonna cost? 62,500. So there's not much in it. Right, how much is this slightly better one gonna be to lease? Okay, 3,187. See, that's not bad. That isn't too bad, you know. What's it gonna cost on a daily basis? Per work day? Per work day. So what does that mean per work day? I can't think, you know. Whenever I lease stuff, it's not normally to be used continuously, whereas this might be. So base cost, every hour I get that's basically every physical hour that you actually use on the machine. So I get that. We could well do 1 or 2 hours maybe, depends how long it takes. But per work day, what does that mean? I mean, every time we skip through an episode, is it going to charge us that? I don't know. I'm not sure what that means, to be honest with you. But in theory, we won't need it for very long. Okay. I do think genuinely that is the way to go. I do think genuinely. We could even just lease this. I mean, this one that's cheap in the shop, I mean, it isn't even that much to lease, is it? I think that's the better option. So, okay, right. So we're gonna move down to our second piece of land. I tell you what I should consider, really. I never did talk about it, but I mean, did I ever put a limit on leased items? See how many different things we've got leased here. It is kind of getting a bit silly now, isn't it? It is starting to get a bit silly. Balers, for example. I know we still need that. I know you can purchase it, can't you? How much would that be to purchase? 8,298 to purchase. We've leased that for pretty much a game year. And that doesn't seem right. 8,298. That same one was cheap in the shop. Hang on a minute. It's only 2,417 in the shop. How much is it new? What am I doing? What am I doing? Balers. Nearly it. Okay, it's only 5,000 new. So why is the mod which allows you to buy leased items, it's like three grand more than the price of buying a new one? That doesn't make sense. That does not make sense at all. So at this point now, I'm kind of thinking, should we narrow down some of these leased items and buy other things? We need the tools. We need the low loader. For some reason in my head I thought I bought that, but obviously not. The stone picker, we will probably need that, to be fair. We're going to need the cultivator. The mower we definitely need for a mow. There's not really anything there other than, I mean, I'm pretty much done for logging now. I am pretty much done for logging. How much would this be to buy? 5,006. Even that seems expensive, doesn't it? I don't think this buying leased items mod works out that well, if I'm honest. Okay, I've gone a bit too far. Where is that? 6,000. It didn't give us much of a discount, did it? Okay, at least it's not charging us more. But that ain't good. That's too much money. And, I mean, we can get that. Okay. This doesn't really make too much sense, to be honest. So I think we need to get rid of this trailer. Maybe we can buy the bale trailer. Work as kind of a flatbed trailer. And we get rid of the baler, and then we'll actually buy the used one from the shop. While we got a tiny bit of money, and obviously we need to eliminate as many bills as possible. They're starting to get a bit silly now, as I realised at the beginning of this episode, just before I click record. Yeah, it's like three grand a month, maybe even more than that. So I think, now realistically, I would normally pick up each item and drop it back to the shop, but considering we're leasing so much from this shop, I'm pretty sure we can get away with saying that they're collecting it. So let's just return that. Yep, I mean that was actually outside anyway. They can come and pick up their baler, because they're kind of ripping me off, you know. Yeah, I don't want that anymore. They're ripping me off. Let's get this. What do we get? It's not quite the same as the picture. I'm not going to change any of this though. And we buy the baler. We do need a baler still. So, you know, how can they charge so much when I've had it leased for so long? That doesn't make sense. That mod, I think, sometimes doesn't necessarily work. Now, this will pretty much take us down to kind of just over 30 grand, wouldn't it? So let's buy that as well. At least we own some items, and we're not leasing so much. Leasing? This looks better already, doesn't it? This does look better already. How much is that? Wow. I mean, these things are... It's not giving us much discount for the amount of time we've had them leased, that's for sure. Cool. Okay. I'm happy with that. That kind of works, you know. I'm guessing the trailer's disappeared. Yeah. Yeah. That works. That's good. Now I feel better off leasing a harvester and maybe a header. I don't know, leasing too many items is probably becoming a bit of almost like a cheat, isn't it, really? I mean, in most of my series, I don't even actually lease items at all. So, yeah, I feel a bit better about myself for doing that. Now, I guess, really, what we want to do is head back down to the bottom and do a little bit of landscaping. Not too much, just a little bit. But mainly we want to place the old mill, and we can kickstart it, we can get it working hard, we can put some olives in there straight away. So that'll be a good start. And then maybe we can get into some harvesting. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. I've been looking forward to this for quite a while now. Let's go down here. Let's sell all the grapes. That will give us a tiny little bit of a boost of money. And I think if we don't sell them in this month, the price really does plummet now until next year. So we'll get rid of them, make the most of it. And yeah, we'll go from there. I'll try and work out how long I've been recording for. Probably not too long currently. I've been playing it for a long time. I've been playing it for a heck of a long time, but it's not been too long since I pressed the record button. So we'll see how we're doing. I'll catch you in a moment. Just looks so different now pulling up into this bottom plot here, doesn't it? It looks so open. I mean, it kind of looks the same as all the rest of the fields around here, really. This was the only plot that was surrounded by trees, apart from all of those in front of us. So, in theory, it's better. Now, this will be the new road. So, we'll kind of trial run it. Try not to run over any crows. So, yeah, this will be the new road somewhere along here. Probably loop around the back of the olive tree. And, I don't know, maybe we place the mill there somewhere. Shut the engine off. Actually, what am I talking about? Why am I shutting the engine off now? Let's move this out of the way completely. Let's move it out of the way. This that we're in now will become all field eventually. Now, let's have a little look. What we need to do is place that windmill down before I get carried away and spend the money. Yeah, I really think this is a good option. Now, it's a bit of a spur of the moment decision. But sometimes that's the best way to be, isn't it? Now, I better turn the interactive zone markers on, hadn't I? Where are we here? Just so I can see where the points are. Because again, I've not actually used this particular mod. Cool. Okay, right. So we're going to load into the right hand side there, and it's going to produce the pallets on the left hand side. So we kind of need access to both sides. Can I just place it there like that? Would that work? It kind of would work, wouldn't it? Yeah, that's the back of it. Okay. I think, yeah, maybe it will work like that. We're not really blocking the olive points either. Let's have a look. Make sure I free place it. I don't want to make that issue like I did before with that barn. That was a very silly thing to do. Is that going to become an issue with the fill point under here for the olives? That's my only concern. I don't think it will. Let's place that there. And we can do something decorative in front of it. Shall I do it? Once I've done it, it's done, isn't it? Oh, I'm hesitant now. After last time, it's kind of scared me from placing things. Oh, let's just do it. Come on. Stop being a chicken. Stop being a chicken. It's a bit annoying that even though it was free placed, it put all of that concrete on there. I don't like that. So, good. When we know where we're at, £12,000. I don't want to spend silly money here. We've got to lease a harvester. But I just want to create some form of basic pathway. Hopefully it won't cost too much money. And yeah, let's go for this. A little bit bigger. And we'll try and create some sort of little roadway around there instead. And it'll just help me to kind of map out, obviously getting a plough is something that we need to look at relatively soon. Now, I'm watching my money. Don't get carried away now, Lucy. This is what I do. Good, that works quite well. I don't want to get under 12,000. That would be too far. That would be too much. So doing it like that kind of works, doesn't it? What do we think? I think so. We've got quite a bit of room still behind there as well, you know. I might even get away with placing another great vineyard there. You never know. That's cool though. That works. So yeah, from here, cut across here, right the way around here pretty much, all the way up to there, and right down close to the edge of our plot of land will all be field. I mean, that's it's gonna double the size of the field, isn't it? If not, a tiny little bit more. So yeah, that's a job for out of season, getting some ploughing done. Not something I'm worried about now, but actually that kind of works. Let's have a look at it in normal view. Turn those damn interactive zone markers off. There we go, that's better. So yeah, we can come in here, we can drive around, we still have access to these. But again, in theory, once I've moved these pallets, if we just set this to deliver, I forget what it is, I don't do it that often, I forget. Distribute, that's the word. Then it should really automatically put it down. I mean, it's not like we're cheating, because it is literally right there. So yeah, the olives can almost fall straight into there, can't they? So we'll move that, we'll distribute that, that will save one job. And then the pallets will kind of spawn out the front here somewhere. I like it. Oh, we can even go inside, look. Oh no, we can. Yes we can, yes we can. There's not really much going on in here though. Good. Wonder if that will change when we actually animate it. What's this? Oh, it even has a little outdoor light. Wonderful. Save the electric bill. Cool. That works quite well. So let's jump into the man. We'll have to detach the log fork. In fact, that's another thing we could probably get rid of now as well, isn't it? I don't think we need this log fork anymore. Now look at this, look. It's already 15:01 game time. This day is going fast. What is the great demand though? Let's have a look. What is the great demand? Soybean. Well, we haven't got any of that. That's typical, isn't it? Isn't that a good price? Okay, was there another great demand? Did I see there was another one? Let's have a look. I bet if it's something like milk or something, it would be typical. There it was, and it was for sunflower oil. Again, we haven't got any of that. Cool. See how much the olive oil goes for, by the way. 4,000. Say, I mean, at its best price, £5,000 per 1,000. I don't know what the ratio is. Let's have a look. And I don't use these mods too often. Olive oil. Every 2 olives creates 1 oil. So we've got there, let's calculate this quickly. We've got 2,000 litres of olive oil. That will create 1,000 litres. So say it's worth 5 grand as olive oil, or those 2,000 litres of olives are worth 2 grand, give or take. 2.5 grand. So we double our money. Converting it into oil doubles the money, doubles the profit. It's just important now that we keep that manure topped up in there so it's still producing. This is quite a good little business I think we got here. It does seem like a pretty good little business. And I might even, you know, not now, but at some point I might even invest in a little shed to put in this gap just here where we are now. I think that'll be a nice touch. Oh, of course, this particular front loader uses hoses. I do like that. Okay, I probably should have closed it down first, but it doesn't matter. Right, pallet forks, I remember where I dumped them, just in between here. So let's get them. I could even make these complete drive-throughs as well, couldn't I? That would save trying to reverse the dolly in every time. I like the sound of that. Anything to eliminate how much I've got to use that damn dolly. That suits me pretty good. Right, let's get these pallets loaded into the actual windmill. I'll do it from the end, you know. It is a bit easier. Then we'll get the grapes put onto that trailer. And then once we're back at the kind of shop area, we've made our money from the grapes, we can take the trailer back to the yard. And then we can kind of really figure out what are we going to do. Do we lease the harvester this episode? Do I even start the harvest this episode? I don't know. It's exciting, isn't it? 60 episodes. 60 episodes. And we've only just leasing our own and harvesting our own fields with a harvester. That's pretty shocking, really. That's pretty shocking. I've noticed that Daggering, again, I don't have time. Not that I don't like watching anyone's videos, I just don't have time. And I'd rather invest the time on kind of people doing the live streams as Sailor Low. I think it's more personal, isn't it, live streams? Certainly something that I need to get involved with. But Dagwin has mentioned he's going to be doing the survival roleplay series again, from what I can gather, which will be good. That is definitely one of his best series. Now, I seem to remember, again, I have not used this one, but the other one, you had to open this. And is it now taking those? What's happening? Do I need to... Oh, do I actually need to hold the pallets up? Oh, it's doing it now, look. Typical. There we go. There's actually 3 pallets there as well, even better. And these are 1,000 litres per pallet, you know. It's 3,000 litres of olives. That's 1,500 litres of olive oil when it eventually works. That's amazing, isn't it? That is a lot of money. It's still a long way away, but this does make it feel like we can. Why? Hang on a minute. Why is that still showing? I've turned the interactive zone markers off. Why is that still showing? It's little things like that, you know, that will put me off using that mod. Off. That's just, there you go. Just had a little moment, didn't it? What do we do now? Where was the trigger to activate it? Let's just do it in the pause menu. I don't know why I'm mucking around doing that. Right, olive oil. Wow, cycles per month. That's probably unrealistic, actually, I'm not going to lie. That's going to generate quite a bit. Oh, I like how it animates now. I wonder if anything's changed in there. Nope. Okay, let me out. All the workings must be going on in an kind of invisible loft space. There you go. I do like how it spins though, that is cool. I quite like the sound of it. Oh, it's giving me a bit of lag. There we go. Right, back to normal. Anyway, right, I'm running out of time. Look, it's nearly 4 in the afternoon already. Let's get these grapes loaded up. We'll do it from the other end. And then we'll sell them. Just because this is the best time really for pretty much the next 8 months. If we don't sell them now, we're going to be making quite a substantial amount of money less. Oh, come on. Now the man's starting to stall on me. Yep, it needs a service as well. These bills are expensive, you know. These bills are expensive. So one thing, I was talking to John at work about this actually the other day, because he is an avid farming simulator player. I mean, who isn't these days, to be honest? But one thing I hope that they do, maybe in the base game, probably won't, but is do some sort of penalty, you know, for not servicing your vehicles. So I try and imitate it a little bit in this series. Again, when I mention about 80% of Keep It Real is actually in my head, I try and imitate the servicing, keeping it done realistically. But I would quite like to see, as base game, if you service, say if you had to do a 20, I don't know. Let's think of how I'm going to word this. If you did an oil change, that would repair your vehicle by 20%. If you did an engine change, that would repair your vehicle by 60%. If you had some bodywork done, a bit of paint work done, that would repair your vehicle by 20%. I don't know. So each actual job you can have done will repair the vehicle by a certain percentage. So if you're strapped for cash, you're playing it realistically, and your vehicle's pretty bad, I mean it's borderline needing an engine change, but you can only change an oil, only do the oil service, then it will only give you 20% of your vehicle back. Eventually, in the long run, you need to replace the engine. I just think it's just something that just seems obvious, really. And surely, you know, I can't imagine that would be too difficult to write into a kind of a base game script. Yeah, I mean, you see similar things in other games, don't you? A bit like, I think we were talking about it, and I think we used Skyrim as an example. You know, the Skyrim, as you get damaged, your health goes down, and I don't know. I mean, what do you do? It's been so long since I played Skyrim, but you have a potion, a health potion, and you know, a basic health potion will give you 20 HP to kind of raise you by 20, and then a large potion might give you 60. It seems like such a basic thing, really. I just wish they'd applied that same kind of theory to the maintenance of tractors. That would be cool. I would rather see things like that than being able to harvest rice. I'm not going to lie. There we go. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? It's exciting stuff. You just never know. But honestly, I'm not getting my hopes up. Anyway, right. Let's just... I'm going to cut this for 2 reasons. You've seen me load a lot of pallets before, and my phone keeps ringing. My missus is trying to get hold of me. So I better answer her before I'm in trouble. So I will catch you in a very short while. Okay, there we go. The last couple of pallets on there now. I've spoken to the good lady. She is fine. She's just nipped out. It's late in the evening, but she's just nipped out to the shop. So I thought, oh, get a cheeky half an hour in editing, and I didn't want to get busted. But it's all good. There we go. Right. I am thinking while we're here as well, in my slight pause then, it makes sense to take the log fork on the back of the Unimog and sell that. I think we own it. Do we own it? I'm sure this wasn't on that list of leased items a moment ago. So yeah, we'll sell it. We don't need it. It's probably not worth a great deal, but in fact, I most likely, just like most of the things I buy, I've probably got this in the used shop. But yeah, every little helps, as Tesco say. So we'll stick that on the back there. I hope I can strap that in. I'm sure I can. So grapes raise us a little bit of funds. We're doing alright for money though, aren't we? Really, we got over £12,000 there. That's such an abnormal amount to have for this kind of series. But good. We're gonna have to lease it, aren't we? We're gonna have to spend money on leasing some form of harvester. And actually thinking ahead, we need to spend money on leasing the harvester for these potatoes as well. Definitely. Right. Let's try this. Is that gonna... Visually it doesn't strap it, but physically hopefully it does. I do like this trailer. That was a bargain, you know. That was a good buy. Absolutely amazing. Now, while I'm here, actually, before I get too carried away, let's just change the olives to distributing. How do I do that? Here, distributing. And I hope. Let's flick the time back to ×10. Again, I slowed it down just while I was on the phone. I should be able to just monitor the olives and see if that figure goes up. 58, 58, is it going to get to 60 something? Come on. If it does, if it jumps, then I know it's working. Come on. Nope, it's going down. Okay. Is that working? I don't know how long it takes to do it, to be honest with you. 751. 752. Okay, I mean it's currently not distributed. So maybe we will have to do it manually. Maybe it just doesn't pick up on that being linked somehow. I don't know. It is what it is. It is what it is. Right, so let's head on to the shop. The sell point first of all, then the shop. Get rid of these bits. Pretty much ready to finish the episode as well, I think. This is going to be a half decent 45-minute episode maybe. I don't want to lease out the harvester in this episode because it's just a pointless charge, isn't it? If it does charge that £600 odd daily amount, I'll just be paying an extra day's amount for not even using it really, just for it to be parked at the shop. So first thing next episode we'll look into that. Definitely. I'm looking forward to getting into ploughing that though. I do actually quite, although ploughing is it's one of those horrible jobs to do. When you're creating a field and then kind of colouring it in with a plough, there's something a little bit satisfying about it. I think so anyway. Maybe I'm just a bit weird. Probably am. Oh, and wonderful. That was the fuel gauge beeping at me as well. another cost to add to it. Wow. We're getting to a point now. By the end of this season, by the end of this harvest now, we're going to have a lot of equipment to repair, to maintain. I need to figure out this lubricating grease mod as well. How does that work? Who knows? Right, let's head to the shop. At least this load's a bit more stable than the logs. Right, I'll catch you in a mo. Okay, here we are now. This shop, actually, our usual, our local, is the best paying price for grapes. And we have no issue getting over the pavement this time, which is nice. So let's sell all these grapes. Again, they're not at their best value, are they? But, well, I mean, they would, by the time I wait for the best price, they would have turned into raisins. Yeah, let's get rid of them. While they're plump and they're worth something. See that money going up, look. What's it going to be? So, again, environmental score is always nice, not much. So, what, £6,200 there, roughly? Just slightly over. Amazing. We'll take that every day of the week. Wonderful. Yeah, look at this, look. We've spent over, well, 25 grand this episode, and we still ending the episode on nearly 19 grand. By the time I sell this log fork, that's pretty good. I mean, isn't the series changing all of a sudden? It's taken 60 episodes to get there, but pretty good. I'm happy with that. Now, let's sell this, see what it's worth. I always seem to park over the top, don't I? And for some reason, it's not picking up the log fork. Let's try again with it unstrapped. Oh, that's a bit strange, isn't it? Maybe I went a bit too far. There we go. It'll be worth nothing in a minute. It nearly fell off. Let's try it again. Where's the marker now? Come on. Ah, there we go. Right. It's not really worth a great deal at all, is it? Not really. Well, it actually says it's worth nothing. Is that because it was leased? Yeah, it was leased. Good. Right. Let's return that. Good. Cool. So that is, if I look on here, another thing that's gone. Yeah. Amazing. Right. It's nice to see that we're reducing down our bills, only to top them back up again with the harvester. Well, there you go. That's life, isn't it? That's farmer's life. Yep. Seems to be the way. Right, I'm just going to head on back to the yard, but we'll pretty much finish the episode here. And, yeah, I don't know. Do you know, I feel like maybe I need to get into a little bit of Alma again, actually. Yeah, I quite enjoyed recording that last episode, and I don't do a great deal of that, so I'll probably move on to that at some point. Right at this moment in time, it's about 1:45 in the morning. And again, I keep saying it, but I'm hoping I'm not sounding too monotone. But yeah, I'll probably jump into Alma, see if I can quite record an entire episode. Maybe, that would be nice. That means, you know, that's 2 or 3 episodes this week at least then, isn't it? That would be good, trying to get a bit more consistency. Yeah, I think from a roleplay story mode point of view, I want to spend the time on doing that episode properly. Obviously, I left it on quite a wide open cliffhanger, and I did that on purpose. I'm not going to lie, I've been planning it for a while, and I knew that when it gets up to summer holidays with the kids being home, I might struggle a little bit more than what I already do, just to get episodes made. So I've left you hanging on purpose, to be honest with you. Yeah, it's probably frustrating, but I don't want to rush the episode. I need to kind of take my time on this next episode, because obviously it's kind of series changing stuff going on at the minute. So there's always a plan. I've got a plan, but yeah, I don't want to rush it. Anyway, we are back now. Good. And I think, in fact, this will be a good test of how wide that actual area is in front of the barn, which I kind of bodged. I think bodged is the right word. I did bodge it. Can we manoeuvre this in front and into that barn without falling down the ditch? Yeah, I reckon so. Looking at it now, doesn't seem too bad at all. It's just the actual manoeuvring space. Let's do it in this view. Add a little bit of difficulty. Right, yeah, I reckon this will go in nicely. If I can get this kind of length trailer in without too many issues, I'll have no problems at all with a harvester. Now, I probably want to do this as far over as I can, without hitting the wall though. That fuel beeping is doing my head in. And actually, I think I've guesstimated that pretty well. Yeah, nice bit of clearance. Do you know, that was like almost perfect, wasn't it? And I did that first time. I genuinely did. Right, disconnect that. Wonderful. Yeah, so I've manoeuvred that in here pretty well. So if I can do that, we'll have no issues getting most things into this shed, even with that kind of big scary ditch. I might have to put like a fail safe there, or maybe stick a little bit of fencing along there, just to make sure. Maybe. I won't do it this episode because you know me, I'll get carried away, and before you know it, that 18,000 to be about 4,000, and I've re-landscaped half the map. Because I do get carried away. I just enjoy it. I love it. I think it's one of the best bits. Absolutely. And while I'm thinking about it, promising thing is we've still got all those apples up there to sell. We've probably got some more. You know, those cows produce milk pretty quick. I also believe that, let's turn this engine off. I believe that our little calf is now grown up old enough to be a kind of middle-sized cow. Is that a thing? A middle-sized cow? What way to describe it? Yeah, it's no longer a baby calf. There you go, see that? I've got 1, 2, yeah, couldn't see him in the back. I've got 6 now decent-sized cows. So he's growing up a little bit. And do you know what? It's not going to be long, is it? Before we have some more babies. So this one here is due to have a baby soon. And then the 3 of them won't be long, you know. Before we know it, we'll have, yeah, we'll be pushing 10 cows in here. And they've already produced 470 litres of milk just in one, well, a third of the month. Just me skipping through to the next episode. It's doing good. Look, nearly 9,000 litres of manure again. Yeah, costs a lot more in food, but they're going to make us a lot more money in the meantime. And worst case scenario, we can always go back to giving them hay. We can do hay pretty quickly rather than silage. So cool. I'm happy with that. I'm kind of happy with everything, you know. 60 episodes in. It's been nice and slow. Yeah, I say nice and slow because it's nice. This kind of pace is good. I love it. So yeah, it's going pretty well, this series. It's going pretty well. I reckon it's going to be pushing 100 episodes though, isn't it, by the time we get to the end? I reckon so. If I can get 2 a week done between now and the release of FS25, we probably will be around 100 episodes, which, that's one heck of a series. That would be a pretty good series. For little old me, the little unknown guy, hopefully around, let's say 1,700 subscribers by the time you actually see this. Yeah, that's not bad to produce a series like this for 100 episodes. Amazing. I'm happy with that. I'm pretty happy with myself for how it's going. And I hope you're enjoying it too. So, as always, until the next episode, cheers and gone.